Hi there, I'm Mark. Welcome to IronWorks Brewing, and today we're doing another IronWorks Brewing own recipe, which is Forge Bitter. Yep, so today we're doing a more traditional English bitter style, probably akin to sort of your Timothy Taylor's, that sort of more traditional English bitter style. Maris Otter, Crystal Malt, Amber Malt, Torrified wheat, East Kent Goldings hops and Fuggles hops, so very, very traditional. Slightly different in terms of how I'm going to ferment it. Virtually no pressure. It's going to go into a pressure vessel, 1-2 psi to start with for the first 2 or 3 days, and then sort of ramp it up to around about sort of 8 psi, and doing some dry hopping as well with the Fuggles hop. So maybe a more modern take on a traditional English bitter, but I haven't done one for a while, and I thought I'd give it a go. I've got everything that I need. I will put the recipe and all the details in the description below, so please do check that out. I've also started doing some quizzes. YouTube now allows you to do quizzes and ask questions and stuff like that. So if you click on the description below, you should get a panel that pops up on the right hand side. Is it right hand side, left hand side of your screen? And in there you can sort of take part in some of the quizzes. I'll perhaps do one of those on this video as well. So I'll not go through the specific details, but you'll see all of that below. And my water's just coming up to strike temperature, 70 degrees I've got that set to, and we'll be mashing for 60 minutes at 67 degrees. So I'll come back to you in a second when we've got that ready. We'll be doing a fairly traditional start to this. We've got East Kent Goldings going in fairly early on, and that's giving you the bitterness, and then we're going to be adding and introducing some Fuggles at the same time. The yeast I'm using is a West Yorkshire ale, this one in particular, and I'm doing a 25 litre batch, so it does ask for 2 pouches of yeast, so I've got 2 in readiness. 25 litres, we'll see whether I use the 2 or not. It'll probably help in terms of the fermentation, and then there's less stress and stuff like that, so we'll go with that. And I think that's about it. I'm just getting everything ready. All my fermenters and everything are all cleaned, ready. They just want sanitising when we're ready to go. But yeah, we'll be mashing in soon. Right, we're at strike temperature. Just get everything ready, and we'll start to mash in. We've got our bung in the top, we've got our scissors. We are at just under 70 degrees. We'll start to get these in. So this is the Crystal Malt. We've got 21 litres of mash water, and then we've got 15 litres of Sparge water. Like I said, I've already treated those with the salt because it's our raw water. This is the Amber Malt. Then we've got the Torrified wheat. Looking good. And finally, Maris Otter pale malt. The bag will cut. Very good. Okay, just give that a bit of a stir. Get the monster paddle out. This is what you could do with your Craig. Dough balls in there, but we'll get rid of them. Well, the mash is going to be 60 minutes. Right down to the bottom. this. Quite nice loose. A few little dough balls in there, but we'll get rid of them. There. That can come off now. Okay, let's just have a quick look at where we're at with the mash. It's just done a little bit of a recirc on it. Oh, the smell of it, amazing. Lovely colour. That's what you would expect from a traditional English bitter. Love it. Right, so we got mash pH 5.4, so that's the next thing to check, just to make sure we are there. Otherwise we'll need to be adding some lactic acid. Okay, so mash pH we were expecting 5.4, we've got 5.38. Okay, while we're waiting for that, I just thought I'd show you what we've got on the taps. So you'll have seen the fresh work kit. That was the pale ale that I've now given the name Another Galaxy. We've got Superdelic Sunrise, that's version 2, and we've got the Mosaic Afterglow. Piped, cleaned, gas on, all ready for perhaps a cheeky beer when we finish the brew day. Okay, so 60-minute boil. We've got 43 grams of East Kent Goldings, so I'm just going to get those ready. Oh. 43 grams. Hang on, 43, very good. So 43 grams of the East Kent Goldings going in at the 60-minute boil. That'll give us 23 IBUs, so not overly bitter, which you wouldn't expect from a traditional English type ale. So that's the Sparge water just kicking in. Okay, we've done our mash out, and we're just going to now lift the mash out. We've got nice clarity there already, which is good. Put these in. Hopefully you can hear that. That sounds like a nice drain. So we can take that right up to the top. And we'll set our Sparge arm up. There we go. Excellent. So whilst that's sparging, I'm going to now start to ramp up the temperature and get us ready for the boil. Okay, so we've done the sparge, and let's just double check what total water we're expecting. 32.65 litres. And I think I said 15 litres of sparge water, didn't I? And that's wrong. That's just under 12 litres of sparge water. So 32.65 is what I'm looking for in terms of boil volume. And we'll then do a bit of a pre-boil gravity check. Okay, so we're not quite at a boil, but we're just about, I think. You can see that. Just starting to break. And we're leaving the lid off this time. There we go. That's looking pretty good. Bang, there we go, absolutely spot on. So we've got 43 grams of the East Kent Goldings there going in now, 60-minute boil. Oh, you just get that initial little, it's like little, very, very delicate citrus. Fabulous. Okay, 60 minutes. And in fact, actually, let's just check what our boiling is. So we've got 60 minutes with our 43 grams, and then we've got a 20-minute hop stand at 80 degrees. Obviously, we're going to be adding, I'll add a Pro Mix Protafloc, see which I've got, and at the 20 minutes, we've got Whirlpool, and we've got 25 grams of Fuggles at that point. Plus 20 grams of East Kent Goldings, so that'll be on the Whirlpool. So yeah, so that'll add a little bit more flavour. The smell of it already is amazing, so I hope this is going to turn out a nice beer. Okay, so the boil's going really well. Just show you what's going off in there. It's a nice rolling boil. We've got about 38 minutes left. I'm starting to prep up the cooling coil. I've got that just cleaned. I'll drop that in probably about 20 minutes before the end, as when I add the Protafloc. That'll then help to sanitize it, and it'll also mean I'll be able to drop the temp down to 80 in readiness for the hop stand. At the same time, what do I need to do? I need to get 25 grams of Fuggles and 20 grams of East Kent Goldings ready, so I'll be doing that next. Okay, so the other thing I do need to just do a quick check on is the pre-boil gravity. Probably taking a little bit too much there, but see where we get to. Put that in there, cooling down. So pre-boil gravity 1040 is what we were looking for, and that is bang on 1040. Just literally at the bottom of that red section, and that's where it's perfect. So 1040, we're on track. All good. Right, so we are still about 30 minutes away, but I've just set up the cooling coil. I give it a quick wash and a rinse down anyway, but the cooling coil's in, and that can be sanitizing. I've got my feed water in, and then out I'll use some of that for hot water for washing up and stuff at the end, so I'll fill my trug and my bucket in the first instance with some soapy water and give that a good wash down. I've got the hops out, they're weighed ready for the hop stand. I've got some Pro Mix, and I've also got the yeast. I'm going to use the two. So these are the two yeast packs I'm using. I'm using liquid yeast this time. This is the West Yorkshire Ale 1469. So I've done the activator, and that's starting to puff up nicely on both of them. Okay then, right, we're at 20 minutes. Like I said, cooling coil's in. I'm just going to chuck in the Protafloc. let that finish, and then we're going to reduce the temperature to 80 degrees for the hop stand and add our Fuggles and East Kent Goldings. Right then, this is where we're at. We've got fermenter going. We're coming up to the final part of the boil. I just thought I'd start to give that its Chem-san. Looking good. Lots of flocking and everything. It seems a bit odd, video in, video in. I don't think there's much else to update on at the minute. I've touched wood, everything's going rather smoothly. Very strange. Okay, that's 60-minute boil done. Yep, that's completed. I'm going to start the Whirlpool, and I'm going to save a bit of this hot water as we drop it down to 80 degrees. Bring you over here actually. That's dropping it down quite nicely. You can see it's looking good in there. Drop that down to 80, and then we've got Whirlpool, which has started already. That'll be sanitising this with the remaining heat that we've got in there. I've already run it a couple of times already, so that's good to go. And then we're going to add the Whirlpool hop stand. Right, we're at just 80 degrees, just dropped under, it'll come back up. Got the heat on, drop those in there. Whirlpool going, which is good. Okay, right, we're ready to transfer. I've got the yeast ready, I've got some Chem-san. And we'll start to transfer that over. It's currently at 22.5, but by the time it's gone in and across there, it will nicely. Oops. Ooh, the yeast smells nice. On. Back to. Brilliant. Got the pill in there. We'll transfer you over to the bench once this is filled up and start to seal it in. Okay, so I'm gonna we've got 27.5 litres in here, which is better than I was expecting. So I'll just have to do a quick recalculation just to see in terms of ABV. I was only heading for a sort of a 3.8, 3.9%, anyway, not too strong. But good brew day so far, and I'll just do a quick time lapse of doing this bit because you've seen me setting these up before. There, that's where he's going. Right, sit down. Watch this. Let's see. And that. 1, 2. So this has been in Chemsan. It's gone through the bucket blaster, through all the hoses and everything else with Chemsan after it being cleaned before I put it away. Pressure relief valve off. Now the spunding valve, I have set it to 2 psi, and like I said, I think what I'll do is I'll leave it for the first 3 or 4 days at 2 psi, no real pressure at all. Day 5 I've got the next hop drop, or the dry hop drop in there, so I'll set the bong up. I'm just going to put the cover cap on for now, and at that point we'll just increase the resistance on the spunding valve, and then that'll increase the pressure. The way I've worked it out, roughly about 8 psi, and that should lock in the dry hop flavours in. And then we're going to start it at 17-18 degrees, and then gradually bring it up to around about 19, nothing more than that really, and see how we go. Okay, so I just need to get the cap, the seal and the clamp. Bring that round a little bit more. Okay. Let's go past. Sealed. They're in. Okay, looks. That one on there. Great stuff. Get it cross-threaded. Close, 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 closed. Close, closed, closed. Job done. Right, heat belt on, and set it to 18 degrees. Temperature probe down the thermowell. Job's a good one. There's one thing you notice when you're using the chiller, particularly in summer. It's quite warm at the minute. It's 23 degrees today. The cold water temperature, it takes a lot longer. I'm going to have a look and see whether I invest in one of those counterflow chillers. I was watching Tanker Brewing. Ben was doing, I think it was a Mexican lager, and he got the counterflow chiller on there, and it looked pretty good. I've got a plate one. I don't know, I'm not so sure about the cleaning and cleanliness of them, even though I do run them through, you know, with VWP and then Star Sand, Chem Sand, whatever. I'm just not, I don't know. And if you just get any little bit of sort of detritus coming off, I don't know, it has a tendency to block it. So not that impressed with them. Right, what am I doing? We'll just put the jacket on. So jacket on, connect up, put the probe in. Now the jacket is twofold, keeps the heat in, cool, whatever you're doing. Also keeps the light out. Definitely don't want to be allowing it to get some UV to it, because that could potentially send it off a little bit. There. I've used these jackets now for a few different beers and very efficient. Okie dokes. Use the good old butcher's hook. Put that on there. Set that there. Good stuff. We'll set that to 18. What was it? Just check again. 17, and then ramping it up to 19 after day one. So day one, yes, 18. That'll cool off. Job done. Okay, so final thing to do is just check what the gravity reading is. Give it a spin. So I think what we were looking for, just bring my notepad over. We were looking for pre-boil at 1040, which we hit bang on, and original gravity at 1044. I don't know if you can see that, but it's just literally where the blue marking is, and the blue marking starts at 1044. Look at that. Right, that just leaves me one final job, which is to grab a beer. Okay, let's get ourselves a glass. This is another Galaxy. I don't think there's much wrong with that one. Ooh, fruity. Brill. Right, we'll do a quick recap. So what we've done today, we've done the forge bitter, which is an English style bitter, sort of on a John Smith's, Timothy Taylor's Landlord, that kind of sort of range. And we've used Otter, pale malt, 4 keys of that, light crystal, 450 grams. We've used some Torrified wheat at 150 grams, and we've used some amber malt, 120 grams. So the Torrified wheat will just give it that bit of body. We've added East Kent Goldings and Fuggles, and we're dry hopping it. It's under pressure at the minute, and it'll get to 2 psi for first 5 or 6 days, and then we'll start to increase it slightly. And then we'll do a dry hop of East Kent Goldings, so that's where it probably tips away from being a more traditional. Batch size 26 litres. I think I said 25 earlier, but 26 litres. We hit his numbers pretty well, to be fair. I think in terms of the mash pH, we were looking for a 5.4. We hit 5.38. Boil volume at 32 litres. Pre-boil gravity at 1040, which was bang on the numbers. Post-boil kettle volume 27 litres. Original gravity at 1044, which again is bang on the numbers. And we used 2 packets of the West Yorkshire Ale yeast 1469, which is the liquid yeast. So we've used 2 packs of that. And yeah, so I'll put all this information down in the description below. So if you want to have a go at this one yourself, I'm thinking this should come out around about 3.8, 3.9%. So not too strong, and I'm thinking sort of an easy drinker from that perspective. Good brew day. No major hiccups. Cleaned everything down. We're all good to go. Cut my finger, as you do. And Managed not to bleed all over the place, but there we go. Yeah, so good brew day. No major dramas, cleaned up, everything's ready, and I'm ready to pack up. I'm ready to enjoy my beer, well earned. And if you like this kind of stuff, please do like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks all.